They kicked me out of the mountain cabin I booked on Christmas after I'd paid for everything. A Reddit story by you snowed out but standing. You ever have one of those moments when you realize your family doesn't actually see you? Like you've been the glue holding everything together for years, and they don't even notice until you stop sticking. Yeah, that was me last Christmas. I'm Eli, 29 years old, a guy who's always tried to be the glue in a family that constantly pulls itself apart. I've got two sisters. Maya, 32, the self-appointed matriarch who thinks she's the most rational person in every room, and Lily, 25, the golden child who could probably burn down the house and still be called sweet. Our parents, they're complicated. My mom's the type who thrives on keeping the peace, which usually means ignoring conflict until it explodes. My dad's quieter, more passive, like he's emotionally on standby. When I was a kid, Christmas was our big thing. We didn't have much money, but we had these chaotic, love-filled traditions, baking cookies, singing off-key, arguing over Monopoly. But over the years, that warmth turned into something colder. Arguments lasted longer. Apologies stopped coming. And after my dad's retirement, the tension between everyone seemed to simmer nonstop. Last year, when Christmas rolled around, we didn't even meet. Everyone made excuses: too busy, flights too expensive. The truth was, we just drifted, and that broke me. So this year, I decided to fix it. I booked a *** mountain cabin in Colorado, a cozy modern place with a fireplace, snow view, and enough rooms for everyone. It was pricey, like 3 months of rent pricey, but I told myself it'd be worth it if it brought everyone together again. I sent out a cheerful family group text in October. Surprise, I booked us a cabin for Christmas week. Everything's covered: food, rooms, even decorations. Just bring yourselves. The replies rolled in slowly. Mom, oh Eli, that's so sweet. You didn't have to. Wow, that's generous. What's the catch? Maya followed. OMG, yes. Finally something festive, Lily said lastly. That was it. No thank you, no how much did it cost? Just mild surprise and a sprinkle of sarcasm. But I brushed it off. This was about rebuilding bridges, not burning them. Weeks passed, and I kept getting updates from the rental company, confirmation emails, check-in instructions, receipts, all under my name, my card. Then, about a week before Christmas, Maya called me. Hey, so, Lily and I were thinking maybe we could invite our partners too. I hesitated. The cabin fits 6. There's you two, Mom, Dad, me, and that's already 5. Yeah, but Lily and Jason are basically a package deal. And you know I can't just leave Aaron alone for the holidays. I tried to explain that it would make things crowded, that I'd only booked enough space for family. But Maya wasn't asking, she was telling. Don't worry, she said, we'll figure it out. That phrase, we'll figure it out, has haunted me ever since. When we finally arrived at the cabin, it was snowing softly, the air crisp and clean. I got there first, unloaded the groceries, set up decorations, made a fire. I even hung little personalized stockings. For the first time in years, I felt hopeful. Then Maya's car pulled up. She stepped out with Aaron, who gave me a curt nod while scrolling his phone. Lily and Jason arrived shortly after, all smiles, selfie sticks, and energy. Eli, this place is amazing, Lily said, hugging me. You really outdid yourself. I smiled, relieved. Glad you like it. Just remember, we're all sharing rooms, so. Yeah, she waved me off. We'll figure it out. There it was again. By evening, the cabin was buzzing, laughter, music, the smell of hot cocoa. But something was off. Conversations would stop when I walked into a room. Maya and Lily whispered in the kitchen, pausing every time I got close. And during dinner, I caught Aaron smirking when Maya said, "Some people just love playing the hero, huh?" I pretended not to notice. I told myself I was overthinking it, but the pit in my stomach grew. That night I went to my assigned room, the smallest one at the back of the cabin. I didn't mind. I'd picked it so my parents could have the big one, but when I got there, my stuff was gone. My suitcase, my toiletries, even my pillow. After a moment of confusion, I found everything shoved into a closet near the laundry room. My bed had been given to Lily and Jason. I stood there in disbelief. When I confronted Maya, she didn't even look guilty. "Oh, Eli, it just made more sense this way," she said, sipping her wine. "You're by yourself and they're a couple." I clenched my jaw. "Maya, I booked this place, you can't just—" "Relax," she interrupted, laughing. "You're making it weird. There's a pull-out couch in the living room, it's comfy, I swear." Everyone else laughed like it was some harmless joke. Even my mom gave me a tight smile, like asterisk, "Please don't start drama." So I slept on the couch that night, listening to muffled laughter and the sound of footsteps from the room that was supposed to be mine. I should have known that was only the beginning. By Christmas Eve, the tension was suffocating. The cabin was filled with noise, Maya's loud voice organizing dinner, Lily filming everything for social media, Aaron and Jason arguing about sports. I tried to stay useful, cooking, setting the table, shoveling snow from the porch. But every time I did something, someone found a way to twist it. When I decorated the tree, Maya complained I'd made it too cluttered. When I offered to help cook, Lily joked that Eli just wants credit for everything. At one point, I overheard Aaron mutter, "Guy books one cabin and thinks he's Santa Claus." That one stung. I stepped outside to breathe. Snow was falling harder now, blanketing the world in silence. The air was sharp, cold enough to sting my lungs. I stood there for a while, staring at the lights through the cabin window, my family inside, laughing, eating, not noticing I was gone. Then I heard the door creak open. It was my mom. She stepped out, arms folded. "You okay?" "I'm fine," I lied. She sighed. "You know how your sisters are. They don't mean to be rude, Eli." "Mom, they took my room. They made fun of me all night. How is that not rude?" She hesitated. "It's just easier to keep the peace, okay? Let it go for the holiday." That's when I realized she wasn't going to defend me. She never did. That night I stayed up late by the fire, scrolling through my phone just to drown the noise. At some point, I fell asleep, only to wake up to laughter. Everyone was huddled in the kitchen, looking at something on Lily's phone. When I approached, the laughter died down. "What's going on?" I asked. Maya snickered. "Nothing, just watching Lily's TikTok." Lily blushed. But she didn't look sorry. Turns out she'd posted a video, a tour of the cabin, and in the background you could see me on the couch asleep with the caption, "When you book the whole trip but get demoted to the couch," with 2 laughing emojis, "Family Christmas pay to stay." It had thousands of likes. I felt my face heat up. "You posted that?" She laughed nervously. "It's just a joke, Eli, don't take it so seriously." I walked out. I didn't yell. I didn't slam the door. I just left into the cold, into the dark. The snowstorm that night was brutal. The wind howled through the trees like something alive, and my boots crunched through the snow as I walked down the road, no destination in mind. My breath came out in clouds, and each exhale felt heavier than the one before. It wasn't about the couch. It wasn't even about the TikTok. It was the years of swallowing disrespect, being the peacekeeper, the provider, the one who never got angry because Eli, the responsible one. I thought this trip would heal that. Instead, it just proved how invisible I'd become in my own family. I walked until my fingers went numb, then turned back. I could see the cabin glowing faintly through the trees. It looked warm, full of laughter, but it wasn't for me. When I got back, everyone was asleep except Maya. She was sitting by the fire with a glass of wine, scrolling her phone. "Where'd you go?" she asked, not looking up. "For a walk," I said. "Needed air." She gave a dry chuckle. "You really can't take a joke, huh?" I stared at her. A joke is supposed to make people laugh, not humiliate them. She sighed dramatically. "Oh my God, Eli, you're so sensitive. We all tease each other. You're acting like we bullied you." "Because you did." That made her pause. Her eyes flicked up to mine, and for a second she looked almost guilty. But then she scoffed. "You always think you're the victim. Maybe people would treat you differently if you stopped acting like a martyr." That was it. Something inside me snapped. I didn't yell. My voice came out calm, too calm. "You know what, Maya? You're right. I am done playing the victim. So here's me taking control for once." She frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you and everyone else can have the cabin. Merry Christmas." I grabbed my bag, the one I'd kept packed just in case, and headed for the door. "Eli, stop being dramatic," she said, rolling her eyes. But I didn't. I walked out into the storm. I drove until my windshield wipers froze. I ended up finding a small roadside inn about 30 minutes away, the kind that smelled faintly of old coffee and cigarette smoke. The room was tiny. The heater barely worked, but it was mine. I sat on the edge of the bed, scrolling through my phone. My notifications were blowing up: texts from my mom, missed calls from Lily, even a voicemail from my dad. "Mom, Eli, please come back. It's Christmas Eve." "Lily, we didn't mean to upset you. It was just a joke." "Maya, don't be childish. Come back and talk like an adult." I didn't reply. For the first time, I let them feel my silence. The next morning, Christmas Day, I woke up to sunlight spilling through the thin curtains. It was quiet, peaceful. I made coffee from the little packet they left on the counter and sat by the window, watching the snow glitter across the road. It hit me then. This was the first Christmas I'd ever spent alone, and yet I felt lighter than I had in years. I scrolled through social media and saw that Lily had posted again. This time, it wasn't a video. It was a photo of the cabin dinner table. Everyone was smiling, toasting their glasses. My chair was empty. The caption read, "Family means forgiveness. Red heart, Merry Christmas, everyone." The comments were all heart emojis and "so cute" messages. None of them knew the truth behind that photo, the silence, the tension, the missing brother who paid for it all. I laughed bitterly and closed the app. Later that afternoon, I got a knock on my motel door. It was my dad. He looked older than I remembered, more tired, like the years had caught up all at once. "Can I come in?" he asked. I nodded. He sat on the bed, hands clasped. For a long time, he didn't say anything. Finally, he sighed. "Your mom's worried sick." I didn't answer. "She told me what happened," he continued, "or at least her version of it. I want to hear yours." So I told him. Everything: the room, the jokes, the tick-tock, the laughter that followed. When I finished, he just nodded slowly. "I figured," he said. "You've always been the one keeping this family together. But the thing about being the glue is, people forget you're part of the picture too. They think you'll just hold no matter how much they pull." I swallowed hard. "So what do I do? Keep holding?" He shook his head. "No, son, sometimes you let them fall apart." We sat there quietly after that. It was the first real conversation I'd had with him in years. Before he left, he handed me an envelope. "For the cabin. Your mother insists you shouldn't pay for all of it." I looked inside. Cash. Not enough to cover what I'd spent, but it wasn't about that. It was acknowledgement, maybe the first I'd ever gotten. "Thanks, Dad," I said softly. He smiled faintly. "Merry Christmas, Eli." Over the next few weeks, the family chat went silent. No one reached out except my mom, who sent occasional check-ins that I mostly ignored. Maya didn't apologize. She posted about toxic people who play the victim instead. Lily unfollowed me on Instagram for a while, probably out of guilt. But I was done chasing peace. I focused on work, on friends, on small joys, cooking for myself, going on hikes, even planning trips for me. Then in late February, I got a text from an unknown number. "Unknown, hey, it's Lily. I wanted to say I'm sorry." I stared at it for a long time. Then another message came. Lily, I didn't realize how cruel that TikTok was until I saw people commenting about it. I took it down. Maya's still mad at you, but she's always mad at someone. I miss you, Eli. I hesitated, then replied. I miss you too, but things need to change if we ever do this again. She replied almost instantly. I know, I'll talk to her, promise. Months later, when summer rolled around, my mom called me. We're thinking of doing a family trip in July, she said carefully. Would you come? I smiled. Depends who's planning it. She chuckled softly. You if you're willing, but this time we all pitch in. It was a small step, but it was something. That Christmas, a full year later, I spent the day at a friend's apartment. We cooked pasta, watched bad movies, exchanged thrifted gifts. There was no drama, no tension, just laughter and warmth. At one point my phone buzzed. A photo from Lily, her, Mom, Dad, and even Maya sitting by a fireplace somewhere. The message read, Wish you were here. But we understand why you're not. Merry Christmas, Eli, followed by a red heart. For the first time I smiled at a family photo instead of flinching. Maybe one day I'd join them again. But for now, peace, real peace, was enough. Because I finally understood something that had taken me years to learn. Family isn't about blood. It's about respect. And sometimes walking away is the most loving thing you can do for yourself.